I'm just going to admit 7 people in the waiting room. One of them is Michael, our secretary. Call to order. Just waiting for everyone to join. Everyone's joining.
Do you want to spin it and I'll sit over there so we can see if we can zoom people?
Yeah. I don't see Michael on yet. Yeah. Phone's connecting. Michael, can you hear us? Okay, so someone in this room is Michael, I guess. Ah, there you are. You're on mute. He's on his phone. All right, what am I doing? You're like this, guys?
Can you hear us, Michael?
Still on mute, Michael.
You're on mute.
All right, I'm unmuted.
Hi.
There you go. How you doing?
Hi,
Okay.
how come I can't see you guys?
That is because start video. No, that oh.
Now you can see us, right?
Wait, no, I have to start video.
Hang tight.
Does somebody over there have this on their phone and Zoom? Yeah. Can you mute everything? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Yes,
Sure, since we start.
we'll do that because it's on the record, all the names of the guests and everybody. So we will, oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, meeting's called to order. Michael, can you hear me? Can everyone else hear us? Give a thumbs up. Okay, the reason I'm asking about Michael is he's the secretary, so he's going to take notes.
I'll take the notes, Mike.
All right, we gotta know I'm not. Okay, so we're gonna start. So call to order, roll call. So we have in attendance, myself, Erin Moran, Bob Wolf, Stacy Anderson, members of the WEC. Stacy's our newest member. Via Zoom, we have Michael Colbert. That's everybody from the WEC. We actually do have a quorum tonight. Now we're going to go around the room and just in here in person and get your names, and then we'll go on Zoom and get names. Are you following? Am I going too fast?
Yeah, that's good.
Hi, your name? Vince, and can you spell your last name? M-O-W. And your name? Hi, Chris. Ken Canza. Marcel, do you want to spell your last name? Perfect. And Linda. Linda Hayter, staff lover. Okay, that's roll call. Do we want to adopt the agenda? I didn't send one out after your thing because it was, you're right, it was on there. I just wrote it on my copy.
Okay.
So here's the agenda. Do we want to adopt the agenda?
By motion to adopt the agenda.
Anybody second? Okay. So while you're on mute, Michael, we can't hear you, but we can see your mouth.
So we have to vote.
So we vote all in favor? Aye. All right.
Do we have any minutes to review or I've lost track?
I don't work, Michael,
Yes,
did you send around the minutes from the last meeting?
Yeah, I'm not sure when they'll be,
I wasn't at the last meeting.
Okay,
but I think there may, well, I think there may be minutes from some meeting a time ago that we still have to approve, but
okay,
I don't know what meeting that was.
all right, so we'll look into it.
So we're gonna have to go back and visit that for the next meeting.
And I know that the meeting that just the two of you were at was a meeting, some people were confused, that might be it.
No, the one where I was in the,
We did not take.
5-1. Okay, we can just,
no, that wasn't an official meeting. Riding considered an official meeting, so there are no notes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, minutes, we'll return to that. Let me pull up the agenda on, okay, we're gonna now get, sorry, I forgot to get the people on Zoom. We have Michael, Town of Woodstock. Pamela, do you mind just letting us know your last name or putting it in the chat? And then we have Pixel Pro, which I think might be you, Linda. Okay, that's fine. Guys, all right, and I'm just gonna go to the chat and make sure there's nothing else there. Okay, so that's it. Last call. I'm sorry, I just need to see the agenda. You have it. Thank you. New business, 10 Church Road. So we're in the process of drafting a letter to be sent to the supervisor regarding the recent decision of the Attorney General. Bob,
I'm 50-50 on whether we should do that or not.
okay.
And just to be clear, supervisor has indicated that he wanted us to, the WEC to send a letter to him since the court decision to take another, to implore the DEC to take another look at 10 Church. I'm not sure I want to do that as the WEC. I'm not sure why supervisor of the town board can send a letter directly. I'm not sure. So those are my.
Why is it
I
under
think-
the DEC if I'm not honest?
Well, I think it actually stemmed from a conversation Bill and I had, and I said, I want the town to revisit it because with this decision, I said, if the WEC sends you a paper trail that the fill came from that place, which now it's all documented, will you?
already been in the court record for over a year.
Yes, but,
And
yeah, but,
any court record in the state of New York is valid in any other court.
yes, but now with the recent decision, all of this together,
Doesn't change this in the town law. You know, about using the office. Why is it on DEC?
okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we should,
Ask him.
Well, I've got a few different answers to that.
I thought it was I thought it was a window of opportunity. Bill seemed open to it. Previous to this, it's been, I'm not talking about it. It's in a lawsuit. So I wanted to take the opportunity and I said, we'll send you a paper, letter. That
So
was,
why do you think maybe we should?
Because I don't see what additional power that. I mean, my experience when we spoke to the DEC, whatever that was, is that for whatever reason, they didn't want to touch it. And as the WEC, my sense was, and I have a pretty good sense of these things, they didn't really kind of want to talk to us about it.
I think it's because on paper, you could say they dropped the ball, which is what I want to kind of
Yeah, I think that.
raise this time now and saying, you should have secured the site at 212 and you didn't.
It's all respect.
Stacy and Michael, yeah.
Would it hurt to send a letter? Like, what's the drawback of doing? Like, even if it doesn't do
It
anything,
makes no sense to me.
but then
It makes me suspicious.
it makes no sense.
I don't know what's stopping the supervisor in the town from
From-
sending out.
That's a good question.
It's already documented where the bill came from. There's no legal dispute about the nature of the bill.
Michael, did you have anything to add?
I'm listening. I don't have anything to add right now.
Want to weigh in as to whether or not you think we should send the letter from the WEC?
I have mixed feelings about it as well. I always think that if we send a letter, at least the WEC has done what we could do. As far as, the shady situation goes.
The WEC has done plenty. I mean, before this iteration of the WEC.
But
Yeah.
we can even do more. We can send a letter.
So are you,
But we're not, just to be clear, we're not sending a letter to NISDAC. This is a request, a letter or an email to be sent to the supervisor.
so maybe,
my-
you're right, but maybe that's a good point. Maybe we don't send it to the supervisor, or maybe we send it to the supervisor and we copy DEC ourselves.
I would do it the other way.
Send it to DEC. and-
Well, it sort of spells out, enumerates, and delineates something, but where there was a written trail that the soil from Corollas ended up at 10 church.
Right.
I mean, it's sort of force feeding whoever's gonna read this letter.
Let's go back to the region. Kelly put yours, rather than similar to the last one. I don't see how that gets us in.
Well, if we send it to the Attorney General and those people who are on the case saying, you know, your
What did they
case,
say? We don't know what the AG's saying.
the case,
We don't know what the AG's saying, but I've heard you refer to it, but we don't know what that is. The AG said.
For the settled case.
it's a settlement.
So.
On the case, it was just adjudicated.
Oh, yeah. $8,000 case.
Yeah.
Million, yeah.
The one that we should have joined to begin with.
Right.
Right. No, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. I thought there was a new letter.
No,
So that agenda item was referring to the original?
no, the original, I think part of the confusion was the draft agenda, I said, referred to the letter in past tense. That was a typo, that was wrong.
My typo.
Aaron and I had an exchange of emails about this issue, about what this letter would look like, but we haven't submitted any letter.
Yeah, there is no
It's
letter,
not
it does not
complete.
exist.
The WEC hasn't reviewed yet. We wanted to discuss it here and now.
Well, the AG is probably the only one that can take action.
So again, I just don't see what else the WEC. I'm unconvinced, but
Yeah.
it's what democracy.
Response, that it's a town responsibility to look through. Yeah.
Oh, we can't go back and start this whole conversation again.
I mean, that's good there. So the WEC was asked by the supervisor to draft a letter to send to the supervisor.
Well, not entirely. I was talking to Bill, the supervisor. And I said, with this recent decision, I would like, in a conversation, I said, I would like to know if the town would consider revisiting. He said, well, have the WEC send us a letter. Because I said, we've got a paper trail from beginning to end. There was always a paper trail, but there's really a beginning and end of this paper trail now. And so he said, send, kind of call me, send me an email.
Well, so if it would move it forward, then it sounds like a good thing to do.
But no matter what the EC says, I don't see how that changes anything that this town has to do.
Yeah.
Because in BC,
It's
it
up to
raises
us.
and happening, we still only have the same solution that we had.
Did we take a
last
vote?
year.
There's 4 of us. I'm gonna make sure too.
Well, I mean, if we send, I just want to see what the drawbacks of sending. Maybe we put other stuff in there besides the DEC. Like, what about we put in the letter, the DEC recontact. The AG redo, like, put out like this is what we would hope. That you do. So.
And I
you know what
sent them
mean?
everything for discovery in that case, and it didn't make it in the case, and I don't know why.
I mean, all we're doing is recommending that they maybe look into this again because of this past settled case.
But what are they gonna do? What would you be asking them? to do?
I don't know, I'm not a lawyer,
I-
but I just don't want 10 Church Road I don't want to stop. I feel like the WEC, it's our responsibility to just keep.
Well, it would be if the town would have actually asked you to do that, but a commission is formed in the kind of structure where you guys cannot be self-directed.
Just so you know, the WEC is actually in the town law, and we actually have a responsibility to do things like this.
You do, but it's not given to you directly, it's given to you through the town board, so they have, they.
Okay, we'll talk about.
Serves at the pleasure of the town board.
We could say public comments for the end, Vince, but the discussion for us is,
I mean, I would love it if you guys could initiate something, so it would be the best thing we could possibly have. But if you can't,
well, we tried to initiate it before. Look, let's, remember that the town board did pass a resolution to do the quarterly groundwater system.
Mhm.
that you weren't very good.
So,
They just push to have that plan.
that's there. If we wanna start sending missives to the town board, for the supervisor, there are other missives I'd rather send,
Okay,
to be frank.
okay. Do we want to send it directly to the DEC and the AG?
No,
No.
I don't, this is just my opinion. I
Okay.
mean, it's,
No,
look,
because that's the town's responsibility. That's not ours. Ours is just,
We need to report to the, yeah.
is to recommend what we think they should do because
If-
it's something new that's come up.
if the supervisor and town board want to revisit this, with the DEC, if their hands are really tied by the DEC, I don't understand why the town board and the supervisor can't take the initiative.
Well, is there something else that you think that maybe that should be done besides contacting the DEC? Now that this case is settled with Sotheby's?
I'm sort of torn.
Mm,
So the answer is yes. But I don't wanna go there.
Let me ask this, if I may. As of this morning, when I was emailing Bill, that, Larry was still not receiving test results. In most of his tests. But I think you guys would probably be guided by those results in terms of what you do next.
Well, that's next on the agenda. Let me get to that. So anyway, those are my points.
so do we table it? Do we take a vote or do we, I guess, table it or take a vote?
I would table it.
Table it, Michael?
I guess.
All right, table it.
So you're gonna do nothing. That's JD's.
Just-
We have we get test results. The town water is first urgency.
There's gonna be about 10, there's gonna be about the shady.
So the next item on the agenda is the Green Festival. This was Lizzie Van came to me, offered us a table. Do we want to have a table at this event? I actually am out of town on this event.
What's the date?
Sorry, July 20th. I should have put it on there. didn't I?
I think I'll
Yeah.
be away. Not sure, but I think.
I don't know if we have bandwidth to do this. If you're out, I'm out. Michael, are you around July 20th?
I believe so.
Would you be interested in sitting at a table that represents the WEC at the
Where?
at the Bearsville Theater for a green festival?
July
Yes,
20th.
Let me look at my calendar and I'll let you know.
And I'll do it if I'm here.
Okay, all right.
What would we do that to?
I'm not sure. I'll answer questions about shape.
We have the,
Well, I would like the thing that I'm gonna talk about later, maybe.
actually, that would be a really good,
That would be.
really, really, really good and have maps and we have the NRI maps. We can usually display them and stuff we've done. Next.
June 20th, I'll make that also.
Oh, it's July 20th.
July 20th, all right.
What's this make about the festival?
We're gonna look at our calendars, see if
We
we,
gotta check our calendars.
see if somebody can be there at the table. We would like to do it if it's possible.
So it's undecided.
Correct.
Undecided, leaning towards decided.
All right, I could do July 20th.
July, okay, great. Thank you, Michael. Updates, Stacy, climate change and education, AK, disaster preparedness.
So I looked at the other towns' websites that did this program. And they're kind of all the same. Did you look at the website that I sent the link to Gardner?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
So if you guys wanna look at that later, that's fine. It's just,
Okay.
out of the towns around us, I like the Gardner's website best.
Okay,
As far as how they presented the information. It's a lot of information. Everybody's like 66 pages of information. So, so I highlighted some things in the olive one that I think would be good to kind of promote at the first of the website. Like everybody's website was the same as far as the order and everything. And I was going to ask Anna, maybe we can redo the order, put some more important stuff up at the top. Because people aren't gonna read the whole entire thing. And if they're looking for information for a certain thing, it's gonna be hard to find 66 pages.
So I'm sorry, you said this was the Gardner?
The Gardner website was pretty good.
and then I looked at Olive, but I'll have to look at I didn't, you highlighted some things.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you. So the highlight.
Did we ever get Pamela's last name? Pamela, can you put your last name in the chat, please? Thank you.
I was just taking a minute to download, because it's
Okay.
taking a lot of. fixity.
Yeah, this is the owl. 66 pages.
They are all, so I went to
Oh.
Kingston, I went to Olive, went to a few other towns that did this program. And they all have the same stuff on their website, it's not different at all. Now, Olive did put some extra stuff on their website, like things to do with the sofas and, you know, that was more relevant to their area, everybody else's was kind of exactly the same.
That's interesting.
So, so I was gonna talk to Anna about doing this program with them, to see if we can tailor it more to your own, you know, to your own community.
I like that idea a lot. I think that's.
So
good.
everybody's, which I liked, the first is everybody will stay informed with how you can get on the different emergency alerts, like the national emergency alert, the New York State emergency alert. The town of Olive has our own emergency alert, so I want to talk to, I don't know, whoever I would talk to the town to see if we have one, or maybe we could get one, because that's a, you know, it's
Yeah.
a good idea, so maybe we could ask them how they did their, you know, service day.
Yeah, is it like a?
It's on their cell phone. So for example, if there's like
Ah.
a hurricane in your area and the town wants to alert their citizens, they would, you know, send it on your cell phone, just like the public alert.
Okay,
If you sign up for it.
okay.
So I wanted to look into that. And also to promote the state, New York State alert and the
Oh.
national, we could do that at the table. People can just sign up for that on their own and they
Oh,
just
that's a good
get
idea.
weather alerts, like if there's a hurricane, tornado.
That's a really, yeah, really good.
Um. They have the stream gauge monitoring on Olive website, which was interesting with maps of how high the streams go during different storms. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess if you're a fisherman. Maybe.
Well, I mean, as far as flooding.
Okay, sorry.
The warming and cooling centers, I wanted to talk to Ken about those and see where they have those in place. And to see if it's sufficient. And if it's not sufficient, to maybe try to find a new place. Because especially with cooling,
What's that?
Sorry, I was,
especially with cooling, because it's getting so hot now and a lot of people don't have air conditioners, I think it's important to have a cooling center that can hold more than like 5 people.
Now, where's the cooling center for here? Is it the library? Where is it?
the warming center is the hallway of the town hall, which is
Right.
about as big as this.
Yeah.
So everybody, that is completely not sufficient. And I believe that the cooling center on demand is here, meaning when there's an event, they say come here, but I don't think it's officially the cooling center, but you'd have to verify that.
Okay, like this would be a great cooling center.
And
But-
and heating, I don't know why they don't use it for heating as well.
Right.
So that's pretty good.
I mean, this would be a great place because it also has kitchen, bathrooms.
And it's handicap accessible.
Oh, right.
So I'm gonna talk to them about the centers, and then, like I said, everything else on there, I'm just looking at it, everything else. Everything else was kind of just a boilerplate.
Generic.
Mhm.
All right, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it was all good tips and all good stuff, but it wasn't really tailored
Right.
toward, the town.
And then have you like reached out to her directly and?
I have, I'm waiting for her to email me back. I wanted to set up a phone conversation.
Okay.
And also about, you know, delving further about, how to get information out to people that don't have cell phones and don't have, like, can't get on the internet or, you know, things like that. And maybe getting a list of people like that don't have that.
I think this is dated information, but I believe there was a person on the town board who ran a reach out to elderly people who only had landlines during emergencies.
Well, I mean, they used to back in the day be like phone trees.
Yeah, it's like,
So, but now the phone trees don't really work
Yeah.
because people don't have phones.
yeah.
So
So
maybe the new,
I
make
think,
up with kind of a new kind of system.
I think there's still village, I don't know. I'm not even going to right now. Okay, double check it. Actually, don't you run Office of the Aging?
No, I don't really see them helping me.
Oh, okay.
We do the lunch program here, but there was Maria Lena, was the person that did the senior falling when we had that. We had a big, you know, event before COVID, big storm, and everybody was here, and Bill asked her to do that, and I also helped her do that. They gave us a lot of lists of people, and we called people and told them about the warming center here, and if they need to get picked up, and, anything like that. So it's like a phone tree.
Like a phone tree.
Yeah, it was kind of like a, just made up,
Yeah,
kind of happening.
okay, so I'll see if I can get that information,
Yeah.
maybe jump off that. Okay.
Listen, I mean, I don't even know. this stuff.
And that was like
We did do that.
within the
Great.
past 5 years,
Thank you
right?
so much.
So it's kind of recent.
All right. Okay, so I'm
What
just,
was the step for getting this on the town website?
well, we have to do this whole compilation of information that's gonna go on the town website, and then the town has to make a page specifically for that. And then it goes up on the website.
So how's that happen?
Well, the town has to create a page, a disaster page.
Well, it's just a town here, figure the video.
Well, whoever does their website has to do it. We don't,
There's a,
I don't know who does it.
I don't think he realizes there's a project you're doing that covers it. Maybe tell him that there's an actual,
They give all the information.
yeah.
And they help with the website,
Yeah,
but the
they-
town has to put the page on their website.
Like, so who meant, do we know? who
So somebody at
manages?
the town manages the town's website, I don't know who that is, but they were,
Important question.
Yeah, when you find out, let me know.
And how do you get it up if you don't know who it is?
because I can call the town, I don't know right this moment, but I can call the town and ask them, who does your website updating? They can give me the name, when I get all the information, I can contact them, they can have the
It
information.
seems like, it's not,
Yes, it is, but that's not gonna be happening for probably about, it's gonna take like maybe 6 months. So I have 6 months to find out who that person is.
Wow. Well, Digital Telegraph is the person that wants to see that. I don't know whether they actually do the website, but Digital Telegraph.
Right, there's a specific person that like put stuff, new information on the website,
Right.
there's somebody that handles that, so those
So-
will be a person, not us.
Do
just
we
find
know-
out. Yeah.
Do we know? Is the town's website, is that managed by a third party, or is there someone designated in town?
There's a
Oh.
third party that,
It's under contract in town?
yes, they are looking at changing that. To my understanding, Melanie, the confidential secretary to the supervisor is the one who manages the website. I believe she might be your contact for this project, but I don't know.
well, there's two things. There's for web pages, there's an infrastructure which sets up the page itself, and then there's the content. So this person you just mentioned probably manages the content.
Right, this person would have to add a new
Right,
whole
that's
page.
type it in.
Well, no, there'll be a whole page, like if you go on the website and you see a page like.
So that's the people who manage the infrastructure.
It's the
That's
third
creating
party,
the
you have to
knowledge.
put it in
Yeah.
the page,
Yeah.
right,
And then somebody else puts the content.
right, kind of, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what you want. You don't want a third party managing content for you.
The content won't really change once it's up. It's just gonna stay the same, it's more of an informational thing.
I mean, it's one dollar.
So they've done this program with the town of Olive, they've done it with the town of New Paltz, with Gardner, with Kingston.
It's just boilerplate.
It's a boilerplate, and that's what I want to talk to her to see if we can maybe change a little bit to make it pertain more to the town. Cause a lot of the stuff in there isn't really pertaining to the,
Maybe you could do it in a song, as long as it's below the.
like
decibel level.
livestock disaster relief. I don't know how important livestock is
For some people, it
to some people. But there's a lot.
All right,
next,
good news. Town water wellhead pumps testing. Okay, you got 5 minutes. I don't know why I wrote 5 minutes.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm up, sorry.
Well. So, and then I wrote update, so, but yeah, I think.
All right,
you
well, the
can-
short of it is. We haven't gotten the latest round of sample results. At least I looked yesterday, I didn't look today. You looked at?
I asked him, I it wasn't changing, you know.
Um,
So it was actually, it started with Larry, and Larry said it was.
When did they have to do it? When did they expect the results?
this month is what we were told.
We don't have a date.
Yeah, it should be soon. I mean, typically they're, the standard turnaround time for these are 11 or 10 or 15 working days. So yeah, it should be done.
I wonder if the lab's got,
If what,
I wonder if the lab's just, got given samples.
it could be, it's a popular analysis.
So there's only a few labs that do the EPA, but.
Yeah.
How do you roll out the information? How will those-
The WEC can certainly take that responsibility, once we get the data. I mean, my recommendation, and I don't know if you want to talk about this or vote on it, but is I'd like to see the town on retainer hire a environmental consultant slash public health consultant. If this becomes an issue, which I'm not convinced it is yet, that can guide some of the decisions that they have to make.
Because I don't know about PFAS, Stacy doesn't know, like,
I mean-
WEC, but we don't know this stuff.
I mean, maybe I know a little bit more than most simply because I work in that world professionally, but I don't want to be the one making the decision for the town.
Yeah.
Number one, number two, my job, they don't like us sitting on any kind of board or doing anything that, even if they're not involved, that could appear. It's a conservative, that's how they are.
So how does this relate to the drinking water source protection program? Signed up for it.
We have nothing to do with
I don't know, to be honest, I
that.
don't know.
Shouldn't there
Ask
be-
Laura Reiki, she's running that.
But shouldn't there be a last liaison at least in that program? I mean, it seems
If-
funny that the whole purpose of the program is to give the town technical support to identify any water quality issues. And here we know we have water quality issues, and our Woodstock Environmental Commission has no connection to the. work.
Laura there used to be a liaison from the town board, it was Laura. There aren't any liaisons any longer, it's my understanding. So to be frank, some of these have been taken over by. I guess the board perhaps is running with it on their own. So we don't, change the question. We don't quite have that connection.
It seems like if you wanted anybody working on that particular program, it would be Mike.
It's true of a lot of things. You know,
Give an update of the stuff I talked to Larry about.
I mean, you guys have, Erin did, I didn't, but spoke to Larry just to get. Some details, how many wells were sampled, I mean, I didn't know exactly where the wells were.
They, each of the pump houses, but pump house one has 2 wells, pump house 2 has 5 wells. So when you take a sample from pump house 2, you take 5 wells at the same time. So if they actually have to go to a source identification plan, then they would take the wellheads and visually to try to identify the direction of the contamination.
I mean, I'd like to see. As an environmental professional, I want to see at least 4 quarters of sampling results. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, if we get an exceedance, what happens? But
It's sort of up to, well, that's number one, why I suggest that the town retain an environmental consultant. But number
what I
2,
meant by what happens is the state law has certain very specific procedures and requirements for public water systems. In our case, we serve technically under 3,300, I think we actually serve that in some. But
well, the results are reported to the DOH, and then the DOH will direct
then they
the
require
action.
notification of everybody using the water, that could require
It's with the bill.
that the water system be shut down. I mean, that's one of the possibilities, which is why they also require for towns that have a public water system that's slightly larger than ours, that you have an emergency water supply plan in case you have to shut off the water.
I can tell you that right now, the DOH said, I think we talked about this last time, more samples or more data. This is reported to the DOH. They're they kind of guide the ship, so to speak. If we get exceedances, if we get continuing exceedances, if we're just screening high level, I mean, that's kind of up to the DOH. As the WEC, I'd be more than happy to be the conduit. We'd be more than happy to be the conduit to pass along that information. But I just want to be clear, we're not making any technical decisions about what and when. I mean, I know what I want to see, but
If
Yeah.
the town I don't know if the town should or shouldn't, but if they haven't had the foresight to develop an emergency water supply plan, is that something the WEC could advise on? Take them themselves?
We certainly wouldn't, I mean, we wouldn't write the plan, is that what you mean? No, we wouldn't.
So I'm just gonna, Chris Finley? I'm sorry. Oh, Chris Bailey, so you're not Chris Finley, okay, I apologize. So I had actually spoke to Chris Finley, and he had a few questions, and I was able to ask Larry Allen. And I wanted to just communicate that because they were good questions about the overall process. First and foremost, anybody can reach Larry at water@woodstocknewyork.org. Some of you have called him. He's very receptive to talk to people about this. There is a process, and the process is pretty standard, and it's basically the New York State Department of Health dictates what the town does, as well as all towns in Ulster County. So it's their criteria, their process, as far as the testing, it's their decision, not the WEC's, as far, or the town's, it's not even not the town's decision. So I think it's important to remember that.
In regards to what? What decision you thought?
In regards to how the testing is done, we are required to do surface testing, but not groundwater testing, according to them. And that's what we do. We currently treat it. We don't filter it. Things like this, like the details, this is all dictated from Department of Health.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sort of this is the drinking water for the protection program committee could be really.
So,
I mean, they're both down with the Department of Health as a partner.
so maybe the public should reach out to them and ask them how they're. I also would like to know, when I talked to Larry, the testing was done, the chain of custody was followed. He gave me more than enough information. I feel confident that he, excuse me,
It was in May, right?
end of April, I thought.
End of April?
That's what I would ask. If we do the specific thing, that's the same.
I think you might be able to foil that from Larry.
I think I'm sure we could find out, but it is the end of April, because I remember talking about this in our May meeting. They had collected that week. But, Ken brings up a good question that we should probably look into. Is the drinking water, who is managing that?
As far as I know,
Is it Laura?
Laura, Julia, and Arlene.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll talk to her.
The price of the bigger group, it
What'd you say?
should be a large, should be additional people on there.
I think there might be.
Because I mean, they have the resources with the Department of Health and the water system to deal with it.
I'll talk to Arlene. It's a good point.
And they can focus on it. I mean, what's got 100 other things to do.
Anyway, so that's the latest. But I do want to be clear that, as the WEC has no problem and can communicate any results or anything else as it comes from other sources. But we are not taking the technical lead on this, no effing way.
But how would you communicate that? So we get the test results, how would you communicate?
We communicate in this meetings, we could put it up on the town website. I don't see why those aren't unreasonable asks.
Oh, you can also,
Mike?
yeah, and you can also email WEC@woodstocknewyork.com if you have a question about it. You can email Larry. If you have questions, reach out.
But there's a question that, it's just troubling, and I know you guys can't address it directly, but I guess I'd like to know how you feel about it. The interim health guidance from the EEC last year came out right after the feds changed the standard for PFAS or plant intervention. And that interim guidance was 2.7 amperes, which is felt based on a lot of the studies that the EPA have been suppressing, but all the health data. That's what they thought the appropriate control level would be. So, but I knew about that. What I did not know at the time, and what I found out today, is that was the first step toward promulgating the new guidance, the enforcement guidance. So, quite a few people that are in that industry feel that the final guidance from the state is going to be close to 2.7. In which case we are already well over that. And it just, I don't know how to deal with this question of people not being informed. It just seems to me that in a case like this where the EPA has literally said there is no safe level in the human bloodstream that won't cause birth defects and cancers and all this stuff. What do we do? How do you say something to people without panicking them? So a pregnant woman can make an informed decision about not drinking.
I'll give you my personal thoughts. This isn't reflective of the town or the WEC. It's clear to me that, the EPA is clearly setting the table to go after 3M.
No, they are.
I mean, it's crystal clear to me.
Probably not just for him.
So, I think that's a big impetus here. Now, the EPA has said, yeah, you don't want anything to do with water. You don't want any zero. And that could be true for anything. Cadmium, lead, sodium, everything, right?
Well,
But it's not enforceable. Right now, the technology, I mean, you can't analyze down to zero.
what the guidance read that said what I read, what it said is that based upon thousands of studies that had been suppressed until the EPA got sued and they have to release them, that any identifiable level in blood seemed to be capable of causing malformation of the markers that they were checking. So I haven't heard EPA say that. I've worked with EPA for quite a while. I have never heard them be this cautionary about any one such.
Because I think they're setting up for a lawsuit.
I think they got sued, so they had to release.
Well, maybe,
That they knew that it was there. I don't think they wanted to go after it. Remember, it was done 20 years ago.
Well, look, I
Maybe
mean,
they do now.
we can talk about this. I mean, we can go back and forth for this for a long time. I mean, I think that, in my view, right now, the level in New York State is 10 parts per trillion because that is what you can do some kind of action.
But the best available health data says 2.7.
Yeah, but that's not,
But don't you think?
That's not the law, though, right now.
Don't you think people are drinking this water?
it's out there. I mean, you know it. I mean,
Well, maybe
you can look it up yourself and look at it.
1% of the town's population would now even know that they needed to.
This is true about everything, but I feel that if you're gonna take action, you need a regulatory driver, which is the 10 parts per trillion. I agree, I don't want that shit in my water. I mean,
Yeah.
you're interested in it, I'm interested, not everybody's interested in it.
I wish it was taken someone to get this next test result. I mean, if it was zero, I think you'd always, you'd decide, but it's not.
It's, even if this next, in my opinion, even if this next test result exceeds 10. I don't think there's action to take that, so other than notification. I think you still need more, you need more than one data point.
I agree,
You just need more than one data point.
I agree.
We had 0.89 for the first time that any measurable.
We only started measuring
We
stuff
just-
5 years ago.
20.
I mean, down in Newburgh, it was 1,000.
2020 was the first time they checked and it was zero. 2021 was zero.
I have all the reports right here, and it actually, the last 2022 is the first year that the
See, to
town.
me, that's
report-
still inadequate data. And I've said this before, it bears watching, and that's kind of what we're doing.
But if you do 3 years in a row, and the total doses increase, you're dealing with no.
I don't necessarily.
So Vince, are you on town water? Sorry, are you on town water?
No, but I drink coffee here almost every.
Oh, because I was gonna say, if you're on town water, you will get with your mail. You
I
get
have-
these,
I mean, almost every
reports
day here.
with your bill.
I have. Okay.
okay, I was gonna say you get this information with your bill, that's one other way.
For my information, I have everything up until 2019, and then I called Larry Allen, and he said, oh, it's on the website. And they never told us if they put it on the website or anything, so, if it's not around, you don't pay attention, you don't. Yeah, they haven't done, no, it's all on the website now, you have to go to,
Anyway.
it's fine, but it's there. But they never said anything like, gee, we're gonna start putting it on the website, you might wanna look on there, no.
Anyway, so my recommendation is that the town look into retaining an environmental consultant, NPH, to guide, to answer questions like this. I mean, I don't disagree with anything you say. But I'm also trying to be practical, and if you're gonna take action, you have to exceed a limit, whatever that regulatory limit is. I think it used to be 75. until the technology improved that their analysis could be 70 or 75.
I think you have to wait for there to be a complete disaster in order to give people who might.
But on the same token, you don't want to react too soon to something that may not be nothing.
There's already some-
It's not.
The kids should be thinking that.
It's already significant.
It's not.
Prior to the DEC's guidelines, so it
not.
can't be nothing. Significant.
Well, there's no such thing as nothing. If you really want to get into the science of it, we know that. So I say sit tight. And if the public's nervous about it, get bottled, I've been on bottled water since we moved here.
As long as you filter out the microplastics.
Well, my view is, and it's just my view, is you can't rely on government for everything. And you have to take care of yourself,
That's why we're here.
to be blunt.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, but the town has a certain responsibility. Come on.
I didn't say they don't. I didn't say they don't. I didn't say they don't.
I agree, it's a tough one, that's why I asked you that way, I mean. I have to ask you for your personal opinion, because professionally, what you can do is go by the levels of standards. But I know if my wife was pregnant. And I realize that this huge likelihood of birth defect, with any amount of measurable inflation. I would not.
I mean, there's, I think, about 10,000 other chemicals, forever chemicals out there. I mean, that aren't even.
And I'll tell you, the studies pick out PFOA and PFOS as being the two primary culprits. And the most difficult to do anything about once you're in the bloodstream. The half-life is almost 10 years in your bloodstream.
I mean,
It's been a little tricky.
Nothing
So-
else is quite like it.
so without getting too techy, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said, but. We have to kind of chill and let the data come in and let environmental professionals make those decisions, not the web.
Maybe you could just encourage the town to let people know about what's going on, not you guys, but encourage them to do that, because, there's still a lot of people that don't know what's going on. And
I mean, restaurants that use carbonated, carbon filters, activated carbon filters, because it'll reduce it, it'll knock down some up to 73%. They can't, for everybody's not be able to afford it.
But at lower concentrations, I don't even know how effective, for low concentrations, I don't know how effective that would be, but.
Activated charcoal. But RO is really good. RO is almost all.
Look,
Okay.
in my, I'll wrap it up right now, but in my professional life, I mean, I have clients who give their right arm to have levels like this.
No, I-
I mean, I'm not minimizing it, but I'm telling you, there are,
For most compounds, you find out what's the one.
yeah, I mean, there are, as I said, down by Stewart. They had 7,000 or 8,000 in their well, so I mean, just to keep it in perspective, that's all, we can move on.
All right. Thank you. Composting. There are a few options. This is Ray was gonna keep it, but then she is unable to. So this kind of, I think just has been missed by us. Bill has made some options available with the town, which were originally not available to us. The farmer's market is really excited about partnering with us and doing something. And then Lizzie Van offered that we could actually use her space. She even offered like buying the containers and stuff. So there's kind of a few things floating around with it. I'm not really sure.
What is her space? What is
Bearsville
her space? I'm
Theater?
sorry to interrupt.
It's okay, Bearsville
Pardon?
Theater? Bearsville Theater?
That space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know which one. Thank you.
No, I shouldn't have assumed.
Aaron, you know where?
I don't, and I don't know if she's even made that decision. She just.
So program regular starting, over, done.
It's not over, we just,
Who's gonna?
who's gonna take it? Who's gonna take the lead on it? Where's Michael going? You're on mute, Michael.
No, you might.
Still on
Can't hear
mute.
you, you're on mute. Yell louder.
Be a sign, unmute.
We can't hear you. Unless you take them over.
Oh, me.
Hang on, maybe we.
I can ask to unmute. I'm asking you to unmute, please, sir. Nope. Couldn't.
I had some technical problems at the beginning too. I couldn't get into this meeting. I had to log out. I mean, we texted, emailed back and forth, but maybe there's a technical problem
Can you hear me now?
for him.
Yes.
Now we got
Okay. Can you hear me now?
you. Taking the lead with composting.
Yeah. I'll take the lead in composting.
Yay, you're my
All
hero.
right, Michael Foley.
All right.
Awesome.
I'll we'll connect you with Ray, or I'll give you all the stuff that Ray last had on it, so you can
Okay.
get up to speed. Thank you. All right.
I
Calamar,
report that the meatball place in town is raising money to do composting at the farmer's market.
Really?
Know anything about that?
It's just a rumor, Ken.
Well, it's on Instagram, I guess.
Therefore, it's real. No, I
I
have,
don't know.
I have no idea.
I wonder
It's
if-
really hard to hear from Zoom. I missed what he said. I missed what Ed said.
Oh,
Ken said that there's,
Or Ken, so.
Ken said that there's a rumor that the meatball Sharkies in town is raising money to start composting at the farmer's market. No one knows if that's true.
but the farmer's market is aware that we're doing something, so I'd be curious if they know.
But this composting thing's been kicked around for a
It's,
long time.
yeah, but it's funny because now bills, the money dropped from 40 to 20. You see that?
Yeah,
I was like, oh, subtle. So we gotta hurry up and spend it.
so
Yes,
Michael,
June.
take the lead on that.
Huh,
It's
Michael?
June.
What are you asking?
I thought you said something.
No, I just said that you're gonna
Oh.
take the lead on the composting now.
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Palomar Lane, that we had a site visit. On 6/29, Stacy was there, Michael, Susan, and myself. Was anybody else there? Bob, I know you couldn't make it.
Yeah,
I feel like there was someone else. So the normal process is we do the site visit and then we all talk about it and say, we write a letter back to the planning board saying, thank you, and here's what we saw, here's what we didn't see, here's what we would like to recommend, and then we walk away.
So what do you see?
What did we, anybody wanna, Michael, do you wanna jump in with?
That was 529. That was 529, right?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, I said 6, I
Yeah.
apologize. Thank
Mhm.
you.
So Michael, what are your thoughts, if you have any?
I didn't see a lot of things that I was like, I know that they didn't show us lighting, sound, different things like that, but, I don't have anything really to add to the discussion here.
And what about, for those who are on the walkthrough, this stream that runs in the back, is that dry when you were there?
No, it's the Sawkill,
Right,
right? Yeah, and it's this drawing, I mean, we walked up, it's not the Sawkill? Sorry, what is it?
Well, it's actually Turtle Creek, that's what renamed from you.
Renamed
Cannery
what?
Brook, that's what it is.
That one we-
Apologize, I misspoke. It is Tannery Brook, not
What
Sawkill.
town is this?
It's my
Turtle
yard.
Creek.
It's my backyard.
Gotcha,
Cannon Brook really goes up.
gotcha.
Tannery Brook. So,
Been renamed Turtle Creek.
okay,
All right, so my question
It
is,
abuts our town offices, yeah.
what was the condition of that stream?
flowing,
fine.
it was, yeah, it was
They said it-
active.
Was there shit, crap,
No.
carpets and stuff?
No.
It was fine. They said it
looked-
didn't flood. That probably didn't flood.
Usually, yes. Sarah, you live there. Is it normally flowing? Does
I
it
do.
only, does it dry up at times of the year?
I have never seen it dry, yet, but I've only lived here for a little over a year. I can tell you, I have seen it marshy. I've seen it drier. I can tell you that the property next door that was flipped, on the other side, that's completely dry, but they ripped out all the vegetation. So I am concerned about the plans as they sit now. Also, how they plan to mitigate the invasive species, just based on research. I was there. You saw me at that site visit.
Sorry.
Didn't get to hear a lot, but yeah, I've not seen it completely dry, but I don't want, please don't quote me as an expert.
That's okay, but
No,
we
no.
appreciate your input. Thank you. Has anybody else here, does anybody see it regularly?
I don't see it regularly, but what,
I would like to input after this with my landlady though, because she would be the expert. And also my neighbor who had to deal with the site visit that we discussed afterwards.
Can I ask?
They can send an email.
She doesn't feel comfortable. She felt harassed. I shouldn't say that.
The sound, there's something wrong with the sound.
I'll bet.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not muted.
Hold on.
That's how I know.
Wait.
Is that-
Hold on, everybody.
Let me know when I.
Thank you.
I'm not self-muted. It's fine. This conversation will continue
Okay,
in an email offline.
Sarah, just
Sarah.
1 minute, 1 minute. We had a little hiccup with the video. It went down. We just want to pick up where we
Okay.
left off. Sarah, we were telling
Sure.
you can send your landlord and whoever else, you can send emails to the planning board as well as the WEC with, you know, what you
Right.
get through. Stacy,
Yeah.
repeat what you said so people can hear it.
As far
then
as
we'll
with
go
the
to you.
stream, the only information I got, I talked to the architect that was there, and last 2 times it's rained really hard, he sent people over there to see if the water has come up and over, and they said no.
Okay.
But that's all he knows.
Okay.
One of the problems we have, I'm on the Show County Watershed Flood Hazard Mitigation Program, is that people don't believe the flood maps. Now, we have flood maps for that area.
And that is, it isn't a flood map,
It's in a 100%, 100-year flood zone easily,
yeah,
to flood the whole town, and people don't believe that.
well, he said he.
Never happened before, right? They say, oh,
Well, this will never flood.
yeah.
I mean, not that it has anything to do with WEC, but he did say that because it is in a floodplain, that none of the buildings are gonna have basements, they're gonna be raised up, and all the mechanicals and everything are gonna be raised up. I think he said 2 feet,
Interesting.
so he's on top of it, he knows it's a
Yeah,
floodplain.
One good snow melt and rainstorm will take care of that.
And what's kind of wastewater? Yeah.
It's the town water sewage.
Now,
Which I learned about that. I didn't know that the town, when you're in town water, you actually have a septic tank and your solids go to the septic tank and your liquids go out to, sorry, Linda, did you have something to say? So I didn't know, it's a little different because usually town water, you don't have a septic. Because that guy said they were gonna have to have a new septic. And I was like, why?
When you have town water, you're on the town's sewer system, you have a septic tank. It's owned by the town.
Yeah.
They come and pump it periodically.
the town comes,
Yes.
Yeah.
really?
Do- Yes. they do. Yep.
Oh, that's questionable.
Tony Flanagan?
No, I have a septic.
Thank you.
But the effluent goes to the, it's piped down to the sewer treatment.
The water treatment, yeah.
Gotcha.
So what is gonna happen?
So he said they were, oh, in the floodplain or in the Calamar?
Well, I mean, if.
Well, it's always been in a floodplain, not new.
Yeah. And he said they were gonna have one septic tank for all of the units, which
No,
So-
one for each.
oh, he did?
He said that he was told that, this is what he said.
Yeah.
He was told the conditions were good at the septic tanks, he doesn't know, but he's gonna find out. And
Okay.
if they're not good, then
Then they'll,
we'll do it.
But as far as our role with the planning board, I mean, what findings do we have, if any, to send to the planning?
So I don't have anything just because I didn't, my concern was, well, the setbacks, that's planning board, not us. And my only concern was that that water, Tannery Brook, AKA Turtle something. My only concern was, they'd have this great drawing, but if they do it according to the drawing or even similar, they're gonna have to rip out a lot of trees and then replant them, and I didn't think that was feasible, but that's, I don't know.
I spoke to Lisa extensively about the landscaping. They're mainly, they are cutting down some trees for building purposes.
Mhm.
They're gonna get rid of a lot of bramble. So it's mainly gonna be taking away all that bramble that's by the water, and they're
Yeah.
gonna be, you know, doing some planting, but they're gonna use all native.
I don't have audio. No audio. No audio.
She knows already. She said, feel free to contact her if you want to take a picture of that. You could email her and I'm sure she'd
Oh,
send
yeah.
you. She was really, really knowledgeable.
Approachable.
Yes.
But that's my comment to planning board. I would
Okay.
like to see a list of. Even though I wasn't there.
The
that's-
audio cut out
You know-
completely.
Yeah, but we're back.
I don't know who's not approachable. I don't know what we just said at all. Are there gonna be complete minutes or?
Yes, so here we're talking
Okay.
about this lady, Lisa is doing the gardening. You can take her
Lisa
information.
Taranto.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is,
And
but,
Stacy
but
was saying
she's
very approachable.
Okay, it's,
she's very approachable. You said,
Sta-
or not very approachable?
Stacy found her
She
to be
is.
very approachable, yes.
Yeah.
I've spoken with her as well.
Next item is, that is it, my friends.
nothing else.
Nothing else.
Well, let's leave it.
So
does
for
any-
this, we wanna, are you gonna email her and get a list and then?
Yeah.
And then we'll do the letter. I asked Melissa when we have to have the letter to them by, it's usually not a rush. Did you hear that, Michael?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Marcella, did you get to say everything you wanted to say?
Well, I guess my comment about town hall plan. I mean, first off, I never believe these developers are.
nor do I.
And if you're familiar with the area, you can have an idea where the street that is, and you understand the culvert crossing under the state highway. And how it goes towards the post office and back under the state highway and upstream to the street. That right now the water is probably 5 feet below, and I've seen the water at touching the bridge. And so for somebody to state that we had a few heavy rains, that was no big deal.
I agree with
Okay, we're good.
you.
I know this just driving by for 40 years.
The meeting,
And actually, that's the thing, so the planning board really,
Right,
all the wetland.
I should have got
By a wetland. Linear.
right.
any other, sorry, any other public comment?
Well,
If you did.
Sarah, did you have something to say?
yeah, I'm sorry, like the audio, I can't tell if I'm interrupting.
No, you're good.
So I came in late. I was at something else. And then I couldn't get into the meeting, so I know I missed a lot. Hopefully I can see everything that I missed,
The meeting is.
but I know there. Good, yes, great. But of course there is concern. I'm sure that there was, well, I hope that there was a lot of talk about our municipal water. You know, while we have a lot of zoning issues coming at us, there's a lot of interconnectedness. I speak about this at every single meeting, whatever is the committee, commission, whatever, we need to talk at yeah, the higher level. We have, Erin, I know you're an acting chair, we don't have a chair, but whoever is the top, or whoever cares the most, let's talk about how we can work together best. But to hear that, you know, like Linda said, it's, I can hear her voice, can't see her face, but it's on the website just to get the message out. I am concerned, Bob, I hear your position, but also I hear your position that I've been on bottled water. Well, Bob, I am poor. I can't just be on bottled water all the time, and it sucks. And we have a community member who's willing to give at a discounted rate. Dino Martinez is willing to give at cost to the people of Shady because of that situation, his product, his water. But we can't get politically involved. I don't want any of this to be politics, but I want information out. And I'm sitting at our housing committee meeting after that unplanned site visit, or unannounced, pardon me, site visit for our housing committee, where that was a little intimidating for me, and I just try. So there's not a lot of information out. We need some information sharing. We should work together better. But when I'm sitting through a town board meeting with our CCD showing us about signage and what is too much signage, but the housing committee can put up their signage, what they're proud of, through RUPCO with QR codes on the same windows where there's too much signage about psychic readings or anything else, but real estate is okay. We're all here. It shouldn't take music or a sound ordinance to bring us all out. This is important, super important. Water is life. This is WEC. Thank you. That's it. I am sorry I missed a lot of it, but look forward to catching up. Thanks. That's it. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Nobody say anything.
Sounds going in and out.